the best part of your job? You feel like you obviously juggle a lot of different things. You probably wear a lot of different hats. What's the best part about your job? What do you like the most?
The best part is receiving a feedback from a woman who was in a difficult situation, or for example, domestic violence that happens a lot. That like she reaches out to us to say thank you. You were there where I needed you, and you saved the situation. You saved me, or you saved my children, and thank you for being there, and thank you for all the resources that you made sure around me. This is the best, and this is the end goal of what we do. Of course, there are but this is when you understand that you are at total peace. When this happens, you understand that all these meetings, all these conferences, all this development of the technology, they come to the point when, okay, it worked. It served the mission. And this is the full satisfaction.
So for all the little girls out there that might be, or young ladies that might be listening to our conversation, what would you say to them? Is there any moment in your childhood, or is there a particular skill that you attribute your success to? That shaped you who you are today?
I would say is being true to yourself and to your beliefs, no matter what happens. Because the world will bring 1,000 reasons why you will fail or why the success is kind of impossible. But there's one reason why everything will work out. And you are that reason, and your beliefs and the things that drive you, your calling. So being always, again, no matter what is happening around you, staying true to yourself. That I would say, I don't know if it's a skill. Well, it brings a lot of skills with it. It's like resilience, being unstoppable, being confident. Like all of these things come in a package with if you're true to yourself.
And speaking of skill, can you tell us a little bit more about your financial skills? What do you think? How do you think your financial skills attribute to your success?
I would say that since my childhood, I had a very interesting relationship with money, because money it's also comes from your perspective of the world changed, the new currency came, and it's
Oh, do you remember that?
There is no stability. Yes, I remember that I was very good at exchange rates. Some people would say that you have a talent, because they would just say how many drums is $158, and they'll immediately give them an answer without any calculator, and then
they would calculate.
It's wow, she's right. So it was a part of me when I was young, and I always would save money. That's also something maybe because of the situation around me, seeing this instability when it comes to financials. But something that I developed later, by the way, recently I was reading this Japanese art of happy money, how you treat what's your relationship with money and financials, because it comes also as a kind of energy, and what it's emotionally. Are you anxious about money, or you are okay to receive it and then to give it? What is the flow of money within your organization and your personal life? And I think I still need to learn a lot of things there, because money also comes financial, the way you manage your finances comes also as an influence from your parents, from your grandparents, from this all the changes and historically what happened with your life. And I think one thing that I would like to practice is a practice of happy money and the flow of money, not only within my organization, because again my organizational finances are based on the fact of the impact, so the equivalent of finances, how much we were able to generate, what are our revenues and what is our impact. So they should be aligned, financials and impact. And the same I would say I'm looking for in my life, what is the the flow and how I
You know, I'm
understand
fascinated with the idea of psychology of money and how people treat money. And I would say that one of the recent research papers that I wrote was about the fact that depending on, we handle money and we treat money differently depending on how we receive it. For example, if you earned money, it's harder for you to spend that money than if you, let's say, received it as a gift, or in the US, we sometimes get money back at the end of the year when we file our tax returns. And it's funny because psychology of money is very interesting, because when people get money, they think it's like, they don't value it as much. They think it's like found money, but it's not. It's their money. They had earned it. They had overpaid in taxes, right? And just came back to them. And it's very interesting you say that, happy money versus anxious money. It's a really good concept. I think my next paper I'm going to devote to that, talking about happy money, because one of the ways as a financial planner, by the way I teach my clients to have less anxious feelings toward money and toward spending it, is by making sure they have a very solid budgeting. If you know your budgeting, if you know your budget, then you know how, like, you don't feel guilt about using your money or spending it, because you know, okay, if my budget is X dollars per month, and if you know, if you're allocating certain amount of money towards certain different buckets. And also I talk a lot about making sure you have emergency money and emergency assets, then happy money will come into play, because you know, the idea is that just in everything else in life, same with money, you have to strike a balance between not overspending but not spending, you know, too much or too little.